Welcome to another edition of Here's the Pitch, sponsored by Masses Restaurant in St. Louis. 5 locations, STL Masses. Talking over this windstorm that someone in Oklahoma is having with, so I'll get to that in a moment. STLmasses.com. Matt Holliday is on the line.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just came back from a Little League practice. Not Little League, I guess it's a high school practice, but things are getting a little bit more closer to somewhat normal, I guess, back here a little bit. We've got very few cases in my area, so some of the younger players are starting to get a chance to maybe play some baseball soon.
And you have younger players, meaning your children, right? Because I know you're coaching at Oklahoma State, but tell me about your children that are playing right now.
Yeah, my children. The college is all shut down. We're still not able to do anything at Oklahoma State. But yeah, my 16-year-old had practice today with his travel team, and the 13-year-old has a broken wrist right now. But his team is I think they're playing a tournament this weekend. So there's some baseball. I'm excited to get a chance to watch my kids play baseball. It's been kind of weird, obviously, in the spring, not having any baseball to watch on a pro level or college level or any level, actually. But I'm excited to get a chance to see my kids play and get back out and into a baseball field.
What is quarantining like in the Holliday household in Stillwater, Oklahoma?
Well, it's not too bad because, it's we have a piece of property that has some acreage, and we have a wiffle ball field, and we have a basketball set up, so it's not too bad. We fish, we play basketball, we play wiffle ball. Kids play a lot of video games. And there's very little schoolwork mixed in. The public schools don't have quite the capabilities as some of the private schools as far as online classes go. So it's basically been an extended summer for the kids and a lot of board games. So we try to find outlets to get our competitions, to get our competitive spirit out a little bit.
We've gone about 2.5 minutes, and you haven't busted my balls yet. I feel good about this.
Well, I didn't know. You read off a sponsor. You actually have a sponsor for this show?
I do.
Wow. Well, that's doing something. I mean, I figured this was, I don't know if anybody listens to this, so that's good.
We got a lot. You're coming off a Bob Costas interview, so you're like the next.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I am a huge step down from Bob Costas, so I don't know how you pulled that off.
Well, I mean, he's doing the Michael Jordan documentary. He's way important. I figured you were.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
But I mentioned. Go ahead.
He's doing the documentary, and I'm watching the documentary, so we got that going.
What do you think of it? I mean, it's pretty awesome, right?
Oh yeah, very entertaining. I wish there was more stuff like that on teams. I love the inside, inside the locker room, inside the practice facilities, and the team environment dynamics. I mean, to me, it's super interesting and fascinating to watch. What winning teams and winning players and just the mentality. It's a really good watch.
Now you say that, but now as you remember, we used to work a lot together. I tried to get you to do all kinds of things for TV. And you're like, Brad, get out of here. We're not doing that. That's stupid. But now you're saying you would have liked that for maybe the 2011 Cardinals, which I proposed doing something on that whole team.
It depends on who's asking. You know what I mean? If it was Bob Costas or somebody like that, somebody with some real cred, I'd have probably been a little more okay with it. But with you and Jim Hayes asking, it's a huge no every time.
Okay. So you're doing a podcast yourself, I see. You and your wife, Table 40, a film-based podcast. I've seen Adam Wainwright's joined you, Lance Berkman, a few of your other teammates. So you're trying to get into podcasting. I knew it would happen.
But I don't have a sponsor, so I'm not near the level that you are. But yeah, it's been fun. We don't have, like you said, the quarantine thing got a lot of time on my hands. My wife felt like she was led to start a podcast and take advantage of a lot of the people and the resources and people that we've run into over the last 20 years. And we tried to just, obviously not very professionally done, but it's more supposedly, like a conversation around a table. And, had a lot of conversations and dinners, and we used to like to invite a lot of the players and over to the house, and it was just kind of based on that, a lot of the conversations we've had over the years, and it's been good. I think we've had good feedback so far. Like I said, we're obviously not experienced journalists like yourself, but we're trying.
Was that a shot or was that for real? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I like to keep you guessing.
I do have a sponsor, though. It's right. Free toasted raviolis. If I mention, here's a free order of toasted raviolis right there.
Bob Costas is way. I mean, that's big time. So you immediately, command a little bit of respectableness with Bob Costas. So good for you.
Me and Bobby go way back. You finished your career at a 299 average. How much does that piss you off? The 299.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. At one point with the Rockies in 18, it was back up to 300. I probably should have just walked away, but I didn't. We were right in the middle of the playoff hunt. So, it stings a little. It does, but I'm not going to lose sleep over a half of a point over a 15-year career. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
2,096 hits, 316 homers, 7-time All-Star. As you're now sort of obviously officially retired, I think, right? You're not doing the Jamie Moyer coming back at like 49, right?
I haven't filed the papers, but I think it's fair to say I hit a little bit yesterday and with my kids, and my back didn't feel that great. So yeah, I'd say I'm pretty much officially retired.
Do you get a chance to kind of reflect at all, or is it still sort of I'm still thinking in that mindset of a player? But that
I miss a lot of the elements of the team environment and the competition. I miss that. It's kind of strange. I think you always, like as an athlete, you view yourself as an athlete. So it's been a little bit kind of a weird transition. But the good thing is if I've got into coaching and I'm around my boys a lot, and I'm still around the game a lot, which I like and I have a passion for. And the college coaching thing has been a good fit because it's not quite as time consuming as a pro coaching situation. So I get a chance to be at a lot of my kids' stuff and games and home every night, and don't have to, as the volunteer assistant, I don't get to recruit away from campus. So it's not all that time consuming, and so it's been kind of a good transition for me. But I'd be lying if I didn't say if I said I didn't miss playing and lacing them up with the boys and playing in front of 50,000 people with the game on the line, taking it at bat. Those kind of things you can't really replace those kind of things, and so I think if you talk to all professional athletes, there's definitely a transition period when you're done playing and you realize that that part of your life is over and it's time to move on to something else.
Yeah, you've been awfully complimentary to me earlier here during this interview, and you were quite the ball buster back in the day as a player. As we got to know you, I started to think maybe you liked me, and then at the end I thought, no, he doesn't. Are you the same type of ball buster as a coach? And it's almost like Michael Jordan, as we talked about. When you watch this documentary with him, he is just on top of these guys, and he keeps saying it's because I want them to be as good as me. But are you a ball buster with your player? I mean, do these kids?
You're staying out of the screen. Part of the reason I'm not letting you have it with your new beard and your long hair is that you're going for the new look. You used to be a little more tightly groomed, but you're letting it go a little bit in this quarantine, apparently.
Haven't left the house in 2 months. Nope.
Well, good for you. Way to follow the rules, Brad. Nice job.
My mom says I look great. I got to say.
Yeah, of course. You got to be careful with the kids. With the college kids, you got to get to know them a little bit before you start busting their balls. So they know that you love them and you're kidding them. But yeah, I mean, I like to give them a hard time a little bit, but I'm probably a little bit more. I'm probably a little nicer to them than I was to you, but I do like to keep things keep them on edge a little bit and make them wonder if I'm serious or not serious.
That's good because sometimes we couldn't tell but at the end,
Yeah.
I was pretty assured that you hated me. So I'm shocked that you're doing this. No, I always enjoyed our time together. I seriously, you had some huge moments, but I can't. I started thinking about your last game in St. Louis and just what that weekend was like, and I can't really think of another time that ever happened in Cardinal history, at least as long as I've been watching. Just to know that you say you're not coming back, and then you have to go out and play, and then you do what you did with the home run, and then coming off and the tears. I was crying too, Matt. I got to be honest, not really, but I thought it was.
It was the kind of it was an odd situation just because you're trying to handle it the right way, with the option, and just knowing that probably was going to be the last time. I don't know. I wanted it to be memorable in the fact that I wanted to thank the right people the right way, and didn't really even think about playing because my thumb was still really tender, and we were right in the middle of, as you remember, right in the middle of the playoff hunt still, and so getting an at bat or even any sort of playing moment, I was not really in my mind of. I really wanted to just thank the fans and kind of just the people that the clubhouse guys and all the people that you don't get a chance to probably see in person. I didn't really want to thank them over the phone, and so in talking to Mo and them being candid with me allowed me to kind of get what I wanted out. As far as to all the people that work for the Cardinals and all the people that kind of behind the scenes. And then, it was Mike's idea to try to get me in at bat and activate me in September, which is no big deal, obviously, because you have 40 spots and you're still on the roster. So he wanted to activate me, and he said, hey, if I get a chance to get you in at bat, I'm going to get you in at bat. And so I was like, I better take some swings in the cage so that I don't embarrass myself. And it just kind of all happened. I think it was the seventh inning, and he said, hey, you're leading off. And I was like, uh-oh. So I went to the cage and got loose, and kind of happened quick. So, just a moment and just trying to take it in and the appreciation that the fans showed me and my appreciation back. And it just got emotional when you start thinking about, 7+ years and all the time I spent there and just all the amazing games and environments and the way I was treated by the fans and my family and just living there. And it just kind of was a really cool moment. And then, you get down 0-2 in the count, and I'm thinking, gosh, don't strike out. This would be embarrassing. And, I felt like, I had a bit of a divine moment where, I hit a home run and get to round the bases. And just the emotion of that, of the crowd cheering and recognizing that at that time I thought was going to be my last at bat as a Cardinal, and to be able to hit a home run and have Matt Carpenter and then Yachty and Wayno and then Mike and some of the people that mean a lot to me that I've spent a lot of time with greeting me. It was very emotional. It was just kind of a picture book ending kind of to my time in St. Louis and what it represented to me and my family and my career. It really came together really cool, kind of quick, kind of out of nowhere a little bit. And obviously I got a net bat. Mike saw that I could still swing it a little bit, so in a big situation the next day he fires me back in there. But I think that's the moment that I'll remember forever, obviously, and a lot of the Cardinals fans kind of remember that as my last moment, as a Cardinal and my career there.
So 2009, like going way back, you get traded here to St. Louis, and then you have the option, obviously, that offseason to pick wherever you want to go. And I can't really think of other guys now. There was a whole list of them, Edmonds and Chris Carpenter and Scott Rowland, who all got traded here, and then decided they wanted to stay. And I can't think of any off the top of my head now, but tell me a little bit about how that came about for you, just the fact that, did you know that you wanted to be here after being here for a month? I mean, the August you hit like 500 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or was it still, hey, I'm a free agent, I'm going to test it out? Or was it one of those things where you got into this situation with the winning and all the red and the 40,000, and you said, I'm staying?
It was kind of a deal where I knew a lot of Cardinals, and the previous offseason, before I got traded to the A's, that it was really down to the A's and the Cardinals to get traded to St. Louis. Then, in November or December, whenever I got traded, I actually thought I was coming to St. Louis. I had some people, that had some information that it looked like I was going to get traded to St. Louis, and then I guess at the last minute, O'Dowd decided to take the package from the A's instead. And so when I eventually did get traded to St. Louis, it was really exciting for me to go. I don't know if we were in last place, but not kind of a young team in Oakland that wasn't playing very well to a pennant contending, World Series contending franchise like St. Louis, and a lot of the guys I'd met, Skip and Mark McGuire and some of the people that I had met before, and just getting calls and how that went down was super exciting. And then, I got over there and was starting to get really, I was in a good groove with Oakland right before I got traded, so it was good timing, and kind of rolled it right into St. Louis, and was swinging the bat really, really well, and ended up having a really good month and a half, and the way just playing in front of that fan base, and Wayno and I hit it off, and a lot of the guys on the team became very close very fast. And I think at one point Wayno said that if I didn't sign back, he was going to peg me every time I came up to bat. So I said, that's no problem, but you don't throw hard. But
right.
Anyway, so it was really I had made it to free agency, which, as everybody knows, players, if you get to free agency, especially during 10 years ago, whatever that was the way to kind of get a long-term contract. And so obviously you're going to weigh your options, and Mo was very candid with me, and I wanted to kind of see what was out there, but ultimately I told Scott, my agent, that, hey, I want to own it up in St. Louis, so do what you got to do to give me a good contract, but ultimately I'd love to go back to St. Louis and play there a long time after my experience there. So when I got a good offer, and Mr. DeWitt and Mo put their faith and trust in me to give me that kind of an offer, I was thrilled to be back in kind of a place where I'd get the next 7 years to kind of settle in and be part of the community, and move there and kind of ingrain myself into the community, and get to know the people, and kind of make myself at home, so to speak, and hopefully win a championship or more. And ultimately we won one, and got to a couple World Series. So it worked out great for me, and it worked out exactly how I had hoped, kind of going into free agency.
And I was telling this story the other day, just on this podcast, sponsored by Massa's Restaurants, Matt.
There we go.
Yeah, that's another cheese bread right there, free cheese bread from Massa's, stlmassa's.com. But I remember, obviously, the game at Dodger Stadium in Game 2, and it didn't end the way you probably wanted, or anybody, but we get on the bus, and you were sitting behind me. I remember that, and I remember Wayno's whatever daughter, his 8th or 9th daughter, he had just had, and she was on the bus too, and she started screaming, and I just thought, man, Matt's having a rough night. This kid's screaming. But I remember thinking, this is how a professional acts here, because you couldn't tell what happened on that bus with the team. You guys had so many professionals on that team. You had John Smoltz, you had Carpenter, and but I just remember thinking, well, it's obviously affecting you, but this is how a professional reacts. But can you tell me a little bit about the play at Dodger Stadium? Because it was rough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, it happens, and it's devastating because, ultimately they win, and it's devastating for the effect that it has on the team. Mostly because you let your teammates down. It sucks as an individual, but you feel like you let your teammates down, and really, there's nothing you can do. You can't change it. So, as an athlete, as a pro, you've got to turn the page quickly and move on to what you can do next. And you put it into perspective, right? You say, it's not the end of the world, and there's another game, and there's another day, and there's another play, and there's another moment ahead. And so you try to put it behind you. It's hard. I mean, it's something to this day that that in my career where I'm like, dang, I wish that hadn't happened. But that's part of sports, man. If you're on good teams playing in big games, and if you do it long enough, you're going to have things go well, and you're going to have things that suck, and that's just part of it. And how you handle adversity ultimately defines who you are. And so, that was my thing is I've got to be an example to my kids, and show my teammates that I'm tough, that I can handle that kind of thing, and come back and play, and show up the next day and be the same guy. And I think that's all about being a good teammate. You be the same guy every day, whether you're killing it or you're getting crushed at the time. You show up the same every day, and that was something I took a lot of pride in as a player.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember you just kind of it set an example. I thought we got a couple more minutes with Matt Holliday in a car. What car? What are you driving? What do you got there? Is it a minivan?
It's a white truck.
No Bentley, no big car.
No, I don't have any of that.
So, doing research here now, I remember bought a house in Jupiter, and I tried to get my self over there a few times. You wouldn't invite me.
Of course not.
Man, what a house! Do you miss living in Jupiter, Florida? I mean, you lived on the water, on the inlet, and I said, if that thing ever comes for sale, you let me know. You didn't, and
yeah.
I don't think I could afford it because you did sell it.
You missed it. You missed the spot. Yeah, you missed your opportunity. No, I miss. I mean, there's no ocean in Stillwater, but there's give and take anywhere you live. I miss the water and the fishing, but I also miss my family and kind of a slower pace living here in Oklahoma. I mean, we have a lot of land and so yeah, I mean, there's give and take. I miss parts of Jupiter. I miss that house. Yeah, I like that house, but it's just a house. It's just a house.
Did you make that decision, or did someone else make this decision?
No, I did actually. My wife she would rather live in Jupiter, I think. Okay. But and the kids, I don't know. I think I might have been the only. Look, I needed a job, and hanging out waiting for my kids to get out of school wasn't going to satisfy what I was going to do next. So I wanted to find something that I could do when I was done playing that would be satisfying for me to work and to have something to do and to have an impact on people. And there just really wasn't kind of a role I could see myself doing anywhere in Jupiter.
You could have done like lawns and stuff, or like cut grass and.
Yeah, I'm not that good at that. I have to do stuff that I actually kind of know a little bit about, which limits me to like baseball, and that's pretty much it. Working out.
I was gonna say, what would you have done? Let's do that hacky question. If not baseball,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I got to wait for my kids to get out of school and coach their little league teams. I mean, that was about it. But I'm just a decent fisherman. I'm not a golfer. I don't have many hobbies. That's part of the problem. I probably should have taken up a few things as hobbies more when I was playing.
We could co-host we could do a podcast together, me and you, like just weekly.
Yeah, okay. We could. But again, I'm looking for interesting things.
Table 80, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can make things interesting. All right, so I have to ask about 2011, and then I'm gonna let you do whatever you're going to do. So give me a little bit about just that run. I mean, the team obviously in mid-August. It's a good team. It's got Albert. It's got you. It's got Lance Berkman. You got Chris Carpenter. Pretty good pitching staff that goes out every fifth day. But August, it's not working, and a light switch happens. That September run it's something that'll never. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that. I don't think anybody will ever see anything like that playoff run, and then obviously Game 6 they still show it, during quarantine. Just when you think back about that time, how much fun is it to remember? You had two of them because 2007 you won obviously in 2011, but 2007 with the Rockies, you guys won 20 out of 21 to get in. So just tell me a little bit about that run in 2011.
Well, I think the thing that comes to mind is how much fun that team was, and we had a lot of characters and a lot of talent, and getting your best pitcher has Tommy John surgery in spring training, so immediately you take your ace off the staff, and I think people kind of wrote us off a little bit when Wayno goes down in spring training. It was a big blow, but we had a lot of talent on that team. When you look back, I mean, you're talking about Carp and Lance Berkman and Yachty and Pujols. I mean, you're talking about some Hall of Fame kind of players there, and so we couldn't get anything to kind of all three phases to click. It felt like for most of the season, where our pitching would be doing well, but we would have a hard time scoring runs, or we'd be scoring runs, but our relief pitching wouldn't be doing well, or we just couldn't tie everything together. And then it kind of clicked for us all at the same time, and we all we started playing well and got some momentum and some confidence, and then like you said, we had a Hall of Fame manager, veteran leadership. We had some young guys. We picked up some guys late in the season that added, kind of helped pick up where we were a little bit short, and it just kind of all worked together. And then you got to think about the game 5 of Carp and Ray Halladay, and just what an epic battle that was. And you talk about game 6, and then even game 7 against the Rangers, and Albert hitting 3 homers in Texas, and just lots of cool stuff. But I think for me, the memories of that team was all the characters and guys like Skip Schumacher and Ryan Theriot and Gerald Laird and Nick Punto and all these guys. It was just Jake Westbrook, and just really awesome guys that were lots of fun, and bus rides and flights and locker rooms, and just great memories and stories from that team. It was just a lot of fun, and you came to the field every day excited to be there. And even when we were struggling a little bit, it was still a group that stuck together because we enjoyed each other so much, and we knew that there was enough talent. So it was the memories of the guys and doing something together, that everybody pulling in the same direction and accomplishing something like that is really what stands out.
You hit .435 in that NLCS, 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 RBIs. I don't remember that. Sorry to say, but
I know I played really well in the NLCS. Yeah,
but everybody did. But then David Freese obviously is the big hit in Game 6. 2 big hits. He has hits all throughout. You kind of took him under your wing that year. What was that like, watching him do his thing, and you're kind of being a mentor and just tell me a little bit about.
I mean, it's just really cool to see, especially like a hometown guy, like having that kind of impact on an organization that he grew up cheering for and watching. I mean, it's really hard to even script something like that. I mean, it's crazy to think that he grew up in St. Louis, gets traded to the Cardinals, has 2 of the biggest hits, and I guess not. I mean, kind of in franchise history. I mean. And then gets a chance to be the World Series MVP and LCS MVP in his hometown. Pretty cool. David has come a long way. I mean, growing up, as far as as some of the things that he's dealt with, and he's allowed me to be a little bit of a part of his life, and I've really enjoyed watching his growth as a person and as a player, and then ultimately retiring after having a tremendous career, and now he's got a son and another one on the way, and is married, and just it's cool to see where he's at and kind of how his life's unfolded, and just a great friend.
Yeah, I love him. I'm so glad he's kind of gotten away from St. Louis, honestly, because I know it was kind of rough to have to be Mr. David Freese in the town. You were great. I thank you. Now you did do some big fun with the Fox Sports things that I would do. You would hem and haw, but you'd open up baseball cards with me. Can we do one pack? Remember the old school baseball tournament?
Yeah, sure.
Now, Tom,
I don't have any.
I have one right here. See?
I know, but I can't open a pack.
Well, I'm going to open a pack, and then we can just talk about what we get here. Did you enjoy it? You enjoyed that, I think. I think quietly you enjoyed. We did a thing where I pitted like 8 guys against each other. The first one was you versus David Freese. You won. I was so sad because I knew David would keep doing it. I didn't think you would, but you did. You kept.
Did I?
You went all the way to the finals against Mike Aldretti, and Mike Aldretti won.
Oh, Aldo, yeah.
I think he pulled Mark Grant. So,
oh man, I lost to Mark Grant.
You did. Well, he pulled him. Well, yeah, he pulled a Mark Grant card. So this is a 1990 edition Upper Deck, Matt. So I'll just pull out some cards here, and I'll show the viewers at home. This is being videotaped as well, Matt, so people can see. Are you still lifting? It looks like you're a little scrawny these days.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing in quarantine, playing basketball and lifting weights.
I have not. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, I can see your man boob right there.
Don't look at my boob.
Uh-huh.
That was not nice of you, Matt.
Well.
All right, we got Mike Lacoste.
Mike Lacoste, all right.
Remember that? No, okay.
That's not going to win us any package championship, so.
1990 Upper Decks with Matt Holliday. This is
okay, come on.
Dave Valley.
Dave Valley, he's a great guy. I'm actually good friends with him. I like Dave Valley.
Dave Valley, catcher, longtime catcher at the Mariners. Fun guy.
He's on the MLB Network now.
That's right. He does some of that. I got the big guy, Minnesota Twin, Juan Berenguer.
Oh, Juan Berenguer. I remember him. Yeah.
So the way we would play this at Fox is if you had a mustache, 80s mustache, you get 4 points.
That is a nice stash.
Well, this is a...
Why don't you shave a stash? You get rid of the beard and just keep the stash. That'd be sick.
I've done that. It didn't look great. Well, I got to tell you what happened. So I did.
You don't have a lot of options, so I mean, what's the matter?
I say the more I can cover up my face, the better. So I try to.
I agree. Yeah, agree.
I did do that thing, and my wife got mad because it said I just looked like I was pissed off all the time. Like, even though I probably was.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing.
I got Ellis Burks here. Good Boston.
Oh, that's a good player. Yeah.
Maybe we'll find someone.
No mustache?
No. Well, yeah. Well, he's got a goatee.
All right.
We got Kevin Seitzer. Is he a batting coach? Is he
really good hitter.
Hitting coach somewhere now?
He was. I don't know if he still is.
Oh. I remember now. This one. You named something on this guy the last time I watched this actually to prepare for this interview. We have Rick Rhoden.
Wow, that's a nice stash.
I think you said it was a varmint that was living on his face when you said
that. Looks like that's an 80s stash right there.
Even the back, he's still rocking. Like, you can't get rid of that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Rick Rhoden myself later tonight. That's what I'm doing.
I think you should. Yeah, you need some more girth on your stash, though. That's some solid girth.
I'm going to send you a picture of what I did last year because I know you want to see that. R.J. Reynolds. This is a terrible pack so far, although.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's a Pirate. So it's weird because he sort of looked like Barry Bonds. He wears number 23. So every time, but it was R.J. Reynolds. Okay, Glenn Davis, power hitter.
Glenn Davis. He's a good player. Is that another mustache right there, huh? That's another 4-pointer.
Yeah. Got is he fouling a pitch off? What's he doing there?
He looks like he's trying to decide whether or not he's going to swing.
Okay. Got a few more. Terry Poole.
Terry Poole?
Yeah. This is a bad pack. I mean, these are great players from the 80s and 90s, but Terry Poole. We've got another Astro here, Gerald Young.
Wow.
He was fast. Okay.
How many cards do we have left?
We have 15 more cards to go. No, 5 more
cards.
Are
you serious?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, wow, that's the biggest pack of cards ever.
All right, this is a great. This would get you about 20 points.
Darryl Strawberry. All right, now we're talking.
Did you did you know Darryl at all? He played probably earlier than you.
I actually know him. He's a pastor now.
Yeah,
he's turned his life around. Yeah, I heard him speak at a conference in November.
Lived in St. Louis, met his wife here. That's where he kind of got.
I think he still does.
Does he? I thought he moved to Florida, but.
Maybe, but I think you're right. Maybe I don't know, but I know at one point he lived in St. Louis.
I'm staring at my moob now this whole time. All I'm doing is looking at this region.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. All right, this is if you're a kid, this was one of your favorites right here. This is one of mine. Wally Joyner.
Wally Joyner, great swing. Yeah. Hitting coach.
Where's he a coach at? Padres? No, he was.
I don't know where he's at now, but he was.
Timothy Leary.
Tim Leary.
Yep.
No Cardinals yet, huh?
No. This is Curtis Wilkerson.
Should have stacked the deck.
I know. And then Nelson Lariano.
Wow.
So I will.
So Darryl Strawberry was and Wally Joyner with the highlights.
I will. I mean, because we have Matt here, I'm going to show him the pack that we opened up last time on our our little series here. So we were doing this way back in, 2010, me and you? So I've got this...
I don't remember. It was more important to you than me.
It was very important to me. Well, I was trying to win Emmys. All I wanted to do was win Emmys. But look, all right, so this was Topps 89, and this came. Well,
wait.
That is a Randy Johnson.
Oh, yes. That's bonus points. That's Hall of Famer. That's mustache. That's, his nickname. There's all kinds of winning points on that.
What was
Expos.
Did you have a nickname, by the way?
No.
Okay. I had one last question. So if you were looking at baseball today and they're talking about playing, and where are you with playing right now as a player? We heard some players say, I don't want to do it, my health. Where would you be if this was you right now, and your thoughts, and maybe you're talking? No.
I would want to play. I'd want to play as soon as possible. I think as players, like the not knowing and kind of trying to stay ready, or when are we going to play or not play, or I would say, you know what, let's play. You figure out a way. I'll take it upon myself to be safe and social distance, keep my distance from away from the field, and I would be all about trying to play.
I think you still could. You might be able to walk on right now. There might be some.
Yeah. Well, if they'd have got the American League or the DH in the National League, I probably still could be playing for the Cardinals, but
they are.
I know. So they're gonna. I think it looks like they're gonna let the National League have a DH. So too bad that didn't happen a couple years ago.
You just said though you haven't filed the papers, so let's break some news here. Matt Holliday's coming back.
Yeah. Well, I got some work to do then.
I was going to say, did I wear you out? This was fun. I had a great time. I had a big fun until I started looking at my man boob.
Yeah, I'm going to go play wiffle ball. You want to see our wiffle ball field?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see what you got going on. Now, where's this at?
It's at our land.
Oh, you have land?
Yeah.
How many acres?
It's about 130.
Anything else? Got a pond, a pool, or a pond?
Yep. We have a nice pond. We have a barn that has a basketball gym inside of it.
What kind of, you stock that thing in fish? What kind of fish are in the pond?
Yeah, it's got some bass and crappie. There's catfish in there. They don't want to eat. I don't know what the deal is. Supposedly there's catfish in there. We haven't been able to get them out, but we'll see.
Well, it's good to see you happy, healthy. Family sounds like they're good. I had a blast.
I had a blast. It's great to see your face.
I knew we would, and we should do it again soon. We'll open up some more baseball.
Look at you covering them up.
No, I'm cold. Man, I'm just cold. Yeah. It's still cold in the house right now.
I bet you are.
All right, that's this edition of Here's the Pitch. I thank Matt Holliday, and I thank Masses, my title sponsor.
I was going to say, good for you. You must be tight with the sponsor.
Tight, free toasted ravioli for another week or so. For Masses.
There you go.
Hey, curbside delivery. They're doing online ordering, Matt. You could bring it down to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Well, again, I appreciate your time. I knew this was a big thrill for me. A lot of Cardinal fans, I'm sure, want to hear from you. Yes, and we'll do it again. No one's doing anything.
That's right. I'm available. I got nothing going on.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Matt Holliday. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, man.